I don't know about what it is about the grandma's boyfriend. Like, I do not trust him at all. Like, this is the beginning of episode 13. And, like, for some reason, he always feels the need to call her, like, when he calls her name, and then he, like, repeats the, oh, um, whatever her name is. And he said, that means found in the middle of the road, middle of the road, something like that. And I'm like, every time he says it, I'm just like, shut up. Like, why do you feel the need to repeat it all the time?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden.
Or maybe he's just a fool in love. Um, in episode 13, he goes to the hospital, the mom's Junhee, I think his name is, the grandma's boyfriend, to fight the dad and be like, "Oh, I'm her boyfriend." And I'm like, "What? You go to fight somebody who's in the hospital?" I don't know. It's just, oh my gosh, you're literally fighting somebody who already had his bones crushed. And then you go to the woman and is like, everything's taken care of. And then you look back at the dad, like all it was his mouth, you know, had blood, but his bones were already hurting from what the grandma did. So I'm just like, okay. So as they're still investigating, um, what's his name? Isik, uh, the team, the after it was revealed all of those people who were involved with CEO, right? After Namsoon's mom did that with her broadcasting TV, the people in charge don't want them investigating CEO, so they just told them like hold on a little bit, and he doesn't want to hold on, so he's finally putting the cash that that Namsoon's mom gave him to use, and he quit. Well, all four of them quit, quote quit. We'll see if they get rehired. They quit so that they can be private investigators and use the money that Namsoon's mom gave him when back in the beginning when he helped find find helped her find her. So now they're gonna be private investigators and pretty much use the money. Um, and then it also seems like Namsoon's father is missing. So I don't know what happened with that. Maybe he probably CEO probably took the father. Who knows? And you know, the the mom finally realized that there was something up with her secretary. So CEO kidnapped the secretary and threatened her and her sister to go back to the broadcasting TV and say that all she said before were lies, and that that's not what his company's about. So she finally saw that at the end of episode 13 that the girl is shaking. She can't even like talk properly. And he also sprayed drugs, something in her face. He told her like it wasn't the usual one that he sprayed him, but it was something else. And he could go spray his sister too. She's in China, and just that could get her arrested. And then, at the end of episode 13, CEO found out that, you know, Teseg is Namsoon. At first, he got the brother. What I don't understand is why, when you first found out that that the guy passed away in your shop, you didn't even care. Well, he was like, I decide who's important or whatever, who I deemed important. He did say that, but he never volunteered to give the family money until, the news came out and he felt the need to give them money. But then that's how he found out that Namsoon was already um sponsoring the boy, and he had the boy come into his office. And I'm like, you better not kill this boy, because like he didn't do anything to you. Like, but it's a good thing that he just sent him away. And then, the whoever he hired sent him a picture of Namsoon. So that's how he was able to verify that it's her. And boy, is he pissed. So I'm like, what is he going to do now? So it's going to be interesting. So in the end of episode 13, Seo found out, that Tisek is Namsoon. So he pretty much, episode 14, he's trying to get revenge and all that stuff, right? Like he's planning his revenge. And with the news, so Namsoon's mom was able to help her secretary, so she was able to find her sister and help her. So the news, she didn't change it. She actually said what they were planning to all along. And with that, cause for the investigations to keep going. But before that, before the whole investigation to continue, the 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 four detectives at the end of episode 13, remember, they were fired, so they needed a new place to work. And the new place that they ended up working at is Namsoon's mom's house. In the basement, they have um well, in the basement they were able to work there. There was a computer, there's a lot of computer and stuff like that. And it's right next to the safe. So there were many times when they were like, I wonder what's in there. And they're like, he's sick, you're so lucky, right? And then the whole family, they went to Busan, because I think um that's where the distribution is happening or something. So the mom ran into Bread Song, and they were having lunch, and the father, Namsoon's father and brother, came into the restaurant and saw them together, and he was so mad. He was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm like, aren't you guys divorced? I bet you he's gonna be mad. And exactly, he was mad. But but they're in Busan, and Waja, the one who pretended to be Namsoon, didn't go with her. Um but the woman did a lot for her, like even like paid for her tuition, so she was gonna go back to school, she was gonna live right. So while she was after she finished having lunch with the people who were part of the gang, the woman, not the woman, what's his name, CEO, had someone pretty much stab her, and then he ended up killing her because, oh, she lied about Tisek. And he was like, remember, if I told you, if you were lying to me, I'd kill you. And I'm like, like, was it really necessary? She didn't even show up in the show, but then in the end, you go kill her. Like, I get it, you're trying to be like, oh, I warned you type of thing, but I would have preferred her just seeing that she changed her life. And and the other thing is, I feel like Namsoon's mom should have taken her with, because she was like, oh, it's a family thing. the family is in danger, and then she was left behind. The person she called right before she died was Namsoon's mom, and she thinks of Namsoon's mom as her mother. So I feel like she shouldn't have left her behind if she was truly worried about the safety of all of her daughters, right? Or should I say not all of her daughters, but the safety of her family. So I don't know. Her death to me was unnecessary. And then the other person who he tried to kill is the commissioner who just reinstated the four detectives. So like he was pretty mad. But what I don't understand is like how come when he takes the pills he gets so strong, he gets stronger, but then everybody else who takes it, eventually passes away. So I don't know like what exactly is making him so strong like that. But now that he pretty much told Namsoon that he's aware of her identity, so now the real fight is going to begin to bring down Sia. If the bomb that she sent up in the sky at the end slash beginning, 15 and 16, turned into fireworks, I'd have been like, really? Really? Are we copying that too from the other one? But I can understand why, Seo is so pissed off because he felt really betrayed by her because, even in episode 15, he was like, as a guy who was once in love with you, because that was the very first person that he actually loved, right? Or that he let himself get, I guess you could say, comfortable or vulnerable with. And then she turned out to be a fake and, you know, actually the person who was going to bring him down. So, like, you could understand why he's pissed off. I mean, the girl even got him to sing in the car. And remember, I was like, the driver was looking at him like, what is going on? So, yeah. So, episode 15, I'm like, you're sending your mom back. So, her mom from Mongolia came to see her. And I'm like, you're sending her back with no protection at all? That's weird to me, right? Because the other mom should have sent her back with a protective detail. If he's keeping watch on all of you, he just killed Waja. You don't think he's gonna go after your mom? Like, and your mom can't even protect herself, and her mom doesn't even speak Korean? Like, come on. I feel like that was just dumb, right? So her mom gets kidnapped. Her Mongolian mom gets kidnapped. So now Seo is like, come meet me. Don't bring any cops. So then she goes over there, and he's like, oh, I want you to take this, and if you can last an hour without drinking the water, then your mom gets to go. But if you do drink the water, underneath the water is the trigger for a bomb that's going to get rid of your mom and everybody else in the vicinity of your mom, right? So he leaves her, and then he sends a videotape of her trying to reach for the water to her other mom. And then, because they share because they share a connection. So the fact that she was struggling and like her heart was hurting a lot, her mom's heart started hurting, and then the grandma's heart started hurting. So then the mom tried to drink some water to, maybe it was going to help her. But the grandma was like, our connection is only through strength. So the grandma went and like lift, use her whole, use her whole strength, and then, lifted up something just so that both the daughter and Namsoon can wake up, because every time they use their full strength, the other one feels it. So that was able to like jolt them up, and she was able to get out of Namsoon was able to get out of the place where Seo was holding her. So, you know, um now we're gonna see how this all ends, and if the grandma makes it through the end of the episode, I mean, to the end of the series. So in episode 16, Seo ended up unaliving himself, by himself, because he didn't want the cops to take him in or, shoot him. So yeah, that was pretty much it. But I think the way they ended episode 16, it means like they're gonna have another one, but I don't know if it's going to be a Namsoon season 2. It's going to be a what, strong guy or strong boy. Um yeah, they're gonna do a boy now, because they were talking in the end, because Bread Song was the was also a villain. He got away, but Namsoon's mom is trying to catch him, so she went to her friend, I'm guessing. And then she has a strong boy, a strong son. So I guess that's what the next one's going to be. So it's going to be interesting, because they were like, oh, he has a Y chromosome. Da, 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 da. But it's kind of interesting to see what everyone is doing now, and they didn't even, do the whole a year later thing, which I think was better. So the grandma is taking care of people who are taking advantage of the elderly. The mom, she's still tracking down Bread Song, and Namsoon decided she's going to become a police officer. And Namsoon and Hisik are engaged to be married. And the dinner was hilarious to me, because the mom kind of like, Hisik's mom was gonna like shade Namsoon because she didn't go to college. And then Namsoon's mom was like, well, I didn't go to college either, but this is my building. You're welcome to come eat at any time after they get married. And then I also own this building. And then she even had the guy call her and be like, what? I told you to donate this amount of money to this foundation. Da, da, da. So she was just flaunting how much money she had. And then Hisik's mom just completely turned. She's like, yeah, yeah, go ahead. Like they could marry as soon as possible. And she even gifted Hisik his own building. And he was like, I don't need a building. And she's like, shh, shh. Yes, he needs a building. And I'm like, wow, okay. It's funny how money can turn so many things around, right? And then her secretary, she is no longer her secretary. She's now on TV, because that's what she said she wanted to be. So she's on the news channel. And then her and one of the guys from the cops started dating. And then all four cops got a promotion. after everything that went down. And yeah, I think that's it. The mom and the father might get back together, I think. I mean, that's where they were kind of leading. So it was pretty much open ended that they could bring on another season, pretty much, with a new bad guy. I just wish the other one they brought on, Strong Dobun Soon, they brought on a new season. But here you can definitely tell that are um their powers are definitely stronger, because in here she knows how to fly. She has perfect, she has vision where she could like zoom in and stuff like that, things that weren't in the first one. So it's interesting to see um how their powers are different, even though, in episode 3, when Do Bun Soon and Min Min came in, they were like, each members of the families they handle, and the grandma kind of repeated it in episode 16, like based on your name, you you live in a different province, I think, and then you're able to take care of that province yourself. But yeah, stay tuned for my rating for the entire show.
And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.